Welcome back to One Consciousness. Before we go into the message this week, I just want to recap for anyone that's new to this video, just why exactly we post these videos. So we're tuning in to the One Consciousness through the wisdom and reverence of the animals and nature who are guiding us through the Ascension process that we're now in the eye of. Finally. They want to help uplift us during these times as the chaos is playing out on the world stage, and to show us what is happening during the process of rising from the third dimension to the fifth dimension, and beyond that to the new earth, so we can better understand it and surrender to it, and how the land and the oceans are reacting to what is happening in what is the biggest transformation that humanity is said to have ever witnessed. As in previous videos, there's talk here of the plasma integrating with our human light bodies. And before going into the message, it's important to explain this process, both in simple and also summary form. Plasma is used here, and it comes from the sun. It's used here as a metaphysical term to describe how the white light is coming down in pillars, and it's helping to activate our energy bodies, allowing us to experience heightened intuition, deeper spiritual awareness, and a more intense connection to the universe and, of course, the one consciousness. This plasma is integrating into our energetic and physical bodies, and it's an alchemical process that is building the etheric light body structure to be able to take us into a higher consciousness vibration where we can then function from. So it's a very important part of the ascension process we are now undergoing. It's wise to rest as much as possible during this time to conserve your physical energy. And by meditating in this heightened state, we can work with this higher energy and draw it into our bodies to activate the plasma energies in our bodies vibrationally. When you are experiencing this integration of the plasma, you may feel physical symptoms such as fatigue, headaches, migraines, back and neck pain, and possible tingling and aching throughout your body. Try to get as much rest during this time and purify your diet as much as possible. You may find that you're naturally gravitating towards this heightened way of life during this time, and know that that is also an essential part of this process. Also mentioned in the video this week are fault lines. So these are fault lines where earthquakes can happen and the Earth's crust is moving. I believe the fault line they are referring to this week may be the new Madrid Fault line. And I know there's a lot of eyes currently on this fault line. And it spans across many states in the USA. So I'm just highlighting that for the moment before we go into the message so that it all makes a lot more sense for you. And now on to the message this week. Usually it's from my animals, but it has come from both the Horse Collective in part this week and also part from tuning in directly, again, I believe, to the One Consciousness. As always, they direct me to part of my body as we start the tuning in process. And this week, I could feel my heart beating so strongly, pounding in my chest, that almost felt as though something will explode out of my heart, out of my chest before too much longer. And bear that in mind for its message figuratively this week with the rest of the details they're giving us. The Horse Collective is sending pillars of white light down. It is coming from the sun, but it's also the Horse Collective who are involved in this. And again this week, I am being drawn to Mississippi in the USA. And remember last week they were focusing a lot on Tennessee, but also mentioning Mississippi. So yeah, this week we are in Mississippi. What is happening there? There's so much white light energy and wisdom being pounded into the land in Mississippi. The ancient codes are being activated there as we speak. And this message is from a few days ago, just to put it into context. Some of these ancient codes are cyclical codes, and some are round codes. I'm sure they'll explain the significance of those two forms in another video. There is a lot of hyper-intensive activity in that area. It was being protected by the Native Americans and the elders for some time, and that's given me goosebumps now as I say that. But now it feels as though the white light doesn't need to be protected in its integration and the codes. No, it is the codes that don't need to be protected, as the white light in the pillars is coming down so strongly to activate them. And I wonder what that must feel like if you're living in that area or surrounding that area. Please do let me know if you are living in that area and if you're feeling these coming down, the white light coming down and activating in some way these codes, the ancient codes. There feels like a nervous anticipation at a soul level, a knowing of what is about to happen, but maybe a frenetic feeling if you are picking up on it subconsciously, but not sure what is actually happening. To feel centered and grounded in that energy might be very difficult if you can't release the energy intensity. And what they're saying is that laughing is a good way to dissolve it and release down the feeling of intensity in your body. There is so much intense activity happening over there. Why is it so intense, particularly there in that region? The energy will spread outwards from there, they're saying. And it's an epicenter of the US, breaking up the intense, denser energies there, stuck energies. They are also showing me the fault lines there. The Earth's crust is breaking up to release the denser energies and shifting where it needs to. There are several seasons all in one day, they're saying, to break it up. Different vibration of each weather type that we have mentioned in previous videos. This information needs to get out there so that people can distill what is happening. There could be intense astral activity over there. And yes, it absolutely feels like that from what they are showing me energetically. Or you might have a tight feeling in your chest. So breathe deeply if you feel that and release the tension. The white light that's coming down contains plasma to help us to integrate these energies and to adapt more quickly to the incoming field. And I think they're referring here to the Ascension field. So many areas have been protected for such a long time by the Native Americans and the elders. They knew they needed to be the earth keepers in these areas and to be with the ancient codes, knowing that one day they would be activated. My heart is calmer as I breathe more deeply now. We receive plasma vibrationally in our bodies, and these are programmed to find it, to draw it in, and allow it to integrate seamlessly into us. Again, at a vibrational level. And make no mistake, the magnitude of what is happening now is immense, the Horse Collective are saying. The codes are working with us all physically to help adapt our bodies to the increasing vibrations required now to survive this shift at this time. The codes in our hearts and souls are also being activated now. There are many sudden rememberings that will come forth at a deep level of our interconnectedness. That feeling of togetherness with our species that hasn't been present for such a long time, as we have increasingly separated from each other and from nature, from animals and from Earth over the centuries. There is the desire returning now to reconnect again at a deep level, they are saying, and to feel that deep oneness in the vibration with all that is in the one consciousness. Thank you for listening.